This looks like a celebration, it's not. What you're seeing is a crowd that gathered specifically to mock death. And somewhere in this painting, the artist embedded a symbol that a Renaissance scholar said represented pure madness. Here's the actual ritual. Every year on Ash Wednesday, the day Christians mark the beginning of Lent, people in Madrid would pour into the streets for what they called the burial of the Sardine. They weren't burying a fish, they were burying the excess of carnival season, all the meat and pleasure forbidden during the weeks ahead. The sardine was a stand-in, a symbol, they killed it, buried it and danced. But the festival had darker roots than a party cleanup. These celebrations originally carried themes of mortality. Participants wore masks and not decorative ones. The masks were worn specifically to ward off the spirits of criminals and those who had died violently. The word mortus, meaning death, was historically attached to these events. This was a crowd performing a ritual at the edge between the living and the dead. Now look at the figures in this crowd. One of them carries a small pinwheel, the kind a child would carry as a toy. That detail is not random. Cesare Ripa, in his 16th century handbook on symbols called Iconologia, wrote that a man carrying a child's windmill represents madness. The artist almost certainly knew that text. He painted the windmill into the crowd deliberately, so that anyone who recognized the reference would understand what he was saying about this entire scene, about these people, about this ritual they were performing, a crowd celebrating death wearing masks against violent spirits, with madness spinning quietly in the middle of it. The painting was made during some of the most brutal years in Spanish history, when the country was being torn apart by war and violence. Some believe that context is the whole point, that this isn't really about a sardine or a festival at all, but about a society that had learned to dance at the edge of catastrophe. The windmill is still spinning, that part doesn't change.